So one story that I actually missed coming into what we're talking about or what we're looking at, some of the stories that we're tracking for you, is the Lagos State government plans to inject about 1 billion naira into the Lagos Building Investment Company to enable the primary mortgage bank meet the minimum capital for operations. Now, the share capital of Lagos Building Investment Company had plunged below minimum regulatory requirements to 3 billion ordinary shares over the years. Now, while return on investment had been unimpressive since 2007, a development that makes it difficult for shareholders to shore up the capital, the 1 billion naira bailout is expected to boost performance in the years ahead. And also, as I mentioned at the beginning of the program, the directors of over 3,000 Bureau de Change operators are holding a special meeting today to force down the rising exchange rate at the parallel market. We've seen that crossing 400 naira at the street level. And of course, remember that that's the reason why the Central Bank of Nigeria continues to intervene in the market, trying to ensure there's a convergence between the official rate and the parallel rate. So the emergency the meeting is coming on the heels of last week's sudden depreciation. In a statement over the weekend, the Association of Bureau de Change Operators of Nigeria says the development is against the interests of the traders. Now, the president of the association, Aminu Gwadabe, explains that the meeting also aims to warn errant traders on the operating guidelines for Bureau de Change operators. So while we're still trying to see if we can connect with Chukwuma Anyanwu, I've got Bosin Omofaya here with me in the studios. Bosin is the business editor for Channels Television. Good morning to you, Bosin. It's great to have you on the program.
Thank you very much.
So,
good to have you back.
Yes.
I should say a formal welcome back.
Well, we're back. We're back, but we're wearing totally out of the system because social media is a very cool way to keep track of everything developing in the world of business.
Our world in the open. Our world in the clouds. It's all in the clouds.
So I basically was going to have this conversation with Chukwuma, but, you know, since we tracked the stories of most of what happened for last week, just from a business editor's point of view, give us a sense of what really shaped the markets. What do you think really shaped the markets? Because I know for most of last week, most companies were trying to meet up with the deadline of submitting their financial results, their full year results for 2016.
Yes. Currency stories aside, Central Bank was very rapid, and we'll talk about that later. And in terms of the volume of what was sold in the market, the fixed income market also became very active at the second window from Thursday, when the central bank concluded lifted the restrictions on two-way quotes by dealers who trade treasury bills. So that brought the fixed income market into very aggressive trading, with some more than 200 billion on Thursday, more than 100 billion via the FMDQ on Friday. But the upper part of the week was a little bit quiet. For the equities market, consumer goods, industrial goods were the main focus. Again, as you find the PMI data in on Monday from FBN Quest, from the Central Bank of Nigeria, showing, yes, we're still not aggressively above 50.0 reading, but we're recovering slightly, all because the central bank keep pumping more FX into the market. In particular, the forward FX contracts or forward FX futures window that the central bank reduced in February from 90 days to 60 days. And of course, they're going to sell into more shorter tenor to help the manufacturer.
Yeah,
so that seems to have helped. Now, so what do companies do, and traders and investors do? They see opportunities in the industrial consumer goods companies on the exchange. If you look at analysts also speaking about looking forward into forecasts for some of the companies in that space, PZ Cussons, Unilever, you find Exotic Partners sending reports, analyst report from London saying, look, things look a little bit good for the consumer goods companies like for PZ because of the FX that is beginning to get some of the manufacturers look inward. Then you find Okomu Oil, which is an oil palm producing company, coming with some very impressive numbers for full year 2016. Very, very interesting So that galvanizes action
and then
into
Fidelity
that.
Bank just came in late on Friday.
Late on Friday.
It almost like it just snuck itself
Yeah,
in.
the market will start reacting to Fidelity Bank from today. But you find the story of NIPCO and ExxonMobil and Mobil Oil Nigeria, the conclusion of that deal, rallied the oil and gas space since Monday. Seplat on the outlook of recovery in oil prices and the quiet in the Niger Delta perhaps would help Seplat to come back. Then Owando also reported a bit of a clawback in the losses it suffered in 2014-2015 period. All that come together to put a lot of aggressive trading activity in the oil and gas as well, which is Owando, Seplat, and some market here say around when Forte Oil will report its first quarter 2016, most likely this week. That also put a bit of trading action into Forte Oil as well. So you have major actions on those three majors as well.
Awesome, Bosun. We'll continue this conversation in a bit, but then we'll focus on the Forex matter because, as you pointed out, it was quite a lively week.
The dollar is king.
It was a lively week. But then Business Morning continues in just a moment. We'll focus on the oil and gas stocks. Bosun has already started mentioning it, but I've got Olawale Olusi on the program with me in just a bit.